Morning children. In today's live class, I taught you topic the sentence, and some of you have left that class. So for those who have left that class, for them I am making this video. So let's start. Now children, you can see on your screen, you can see this. Here you can see that there are certain something is written A, B, C, D, E, F. So all of us do know that these are the alphabets. These are the letters of alphabet. And if we place them close to each other like E, T, B, A, L and T, A, B, L, E, so it will become a group of letters. So there are two group of letters visible on your screen. You can see this. Both are, two of them are written here. Now in these there is some difference. You can see that for first one, this one is not having any meaning like ETBAL. There is no meaning, but TABL has got some meaning and sense. So such a group of letters which has some meaning or sense, it is called a word. So here it is said that a group of letters with some meaning or sense is called a word. Now I have some exercise for you. Now you can see this. This is an exercise for you. Let me make it clear to you. If I enlarge it, you can see you need to tell which one is a word. If the group of letters with some meaning is a word, if there is no meaning, then that group of letters will not be considered as a word. So if you want, so now you see XBO, it is not producing any meaning. So this is not a word. First one is not a word. Now you see the next one is BOX, box. Everybody knows the box has some meaning. Box, we all know there are kind of box, geometry box, tiffin box and all that. So the box is a meaning. So this is a word. Double PALE, this is not producing any meaning. So this is not a word. APPLE, apple, we ate apple, So apple is a word. Like OWKN, it is not making any sense. But KNOW, no. We know number of things. I know, we can say that I know where he lives. I know who teaches us English. I know who is the principal of our school. I know who is the headmaster who is your headmaster. So these are the things. No, everybody knows. So this is a word. This has some sense. So this is also a word. Now, if I say some more examples are there. ACHIR, it is not producing any meaning. So whether it is a word? No, it's not a word. But CHAIR, chair, we sit on a chair. Okay, that is a word. Then there is something written ICPNEL, it is not making any sense, so it is not a word. But PENCIL, pencil, we all have used pencil, so this is a word. So I hope what is a word, it is clear to you. Now move to some next picture. If I say to you, now you look, now you can look at this. Now you can look at this. I have written some words. The on table, on the table. So here you can see the is a word, on is a word, table is a word. So all these combinedly they are group of words. Now in the same way I have written on the table. On is a word, the is a word, table is a word. So on the table, it is also a group of words. But what I want to tell you is this: which one of these two group of words is giving you some sense? The on table is not producing any sense. On the table is producing some sense. So the group of words that produce some sense is called a phrase. The group of words that produce some sense is called a phrase. So if the group of word is not producing any sense, it will not be said that it is a phrase. But if a group of word is producing some sense, then it is said that it is a phrase. Now coming to next, we can see some examples are here. Now you need to tell which of the following is a phrase and which is not a phrase. Now you can see the first one, the in park. The in park, it is not producing any sense, so it is not a phrase. In the park, it is producing some sense because there may be something in the park. There may be trees in the park, there may be flowers in the park, maybe anything. So it is producing some sense, but there must be something in the park, so it is giving you some sense, not complete sense but some sense. And this is what, this is a phrase. This is a definition of the phrase. If something, if some group of words is producing some sense, that is called a phrase. So now this is a phrase. Next it is station at the, it is not also giving any sense, but at the station it is giving some sense. Means there may be a train at the station, or there is a train at the station, or there are a lot of passengers at the station. So at the station may be anything. So there may be possibility, there may be something, but it is producing some sense. So at the station is also phrase. Roses are full, it is mismanaged, can't be understood, is not producing any sense. If you say full of roses, means something may be full of roses. There may be a garden may be full of roses, or flower pot may be full of roses. So full of roses is a phrase. So in this way we understand which group of word is a phrase. If it is asked to you whether this which find the group of word which are phrase, then you can easily find out that this is a phrase. Because so you need to keep in mind is this that a group of word with some sense is a phrase. And it is also to note down that a group this phrase has some sense but not the complete sense. This is to keep in mind. Well, phrase has only some sense, not the complete sense. Phrase is not having the complete sense. If a group of word having complete sense, then that will become a sentence that we are going to study further. Means now look at this. On the table, it is a group of word with some sense. And now look at the next sentence. This is given there. You can see. Can you see this? I am making it enlarged to you. There are two structures. Look at these structures. On the table and the book is on the table. On the table is a group of words with some sense. There may be anything on the table. It is not giving you the complete information. But the book is on the table. This structure is giving you the complete sense. Means what is on the table? The book is on the table. It is giving you the complete sense. It is giving you the full information. So a group of words with complete sense is called a sentence. A group of words that gives you complete information or complete sense, it is called a sentence. I hope it is clear to you. Now I have a set of practice exercise for you. Now you see the first one here. You can see the first structure says on the table. So though it is what I need to ask you here in this exercise, you need to tell you need to tell what? You need to tell that which one is a sentence. Here it is not asking which one is a phrase. Here it is not asking which one is a word. You need to find out which one is a sentence. And for sentence, you know that must have a complete sense. So in the first one, you can see on the table. On the table, it is not giving you the complete sense. But the next sentence you can see, so it is wrong. It is not a sentence. So here you need to make a cross. But in the second one, you can see it is saying the cat is on the table. So it is giving you the complete information. Who is on the table? Cat is on the table. It is giving you the complete information. It is making a complete sense. So it is a sentence. So second one is a sentence. You need to make a tick there. Now Akbar was a. Who was Akbar? Can't say. Akbar was. It is producing some sense, but it is not making complete sense. So it is also not a sentence. But second, then the next problem you can see for the structure, Akbar was a great king. It is giving you the full set of information. Akbar was a great king, so it is a sentence. So you can take it. He goes to, where he goes to, can't say. So it is not a sentence. He goes to school. He goes to school. It is giving you full information. So here you can take it. Yes, this is what? This is a sentence. I hope you can easily recognize the difference. You can easily recognize the difference between what is a sentence and which is not a sentence. Now move to the we will discuss the qualities of. Now we understood what is a sentence. A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. Now we need to understand the qualities of a sentence. What are the qualities of a sentence? You need to understand that a sentence, the first quality of a sentence, that a sentence always begins with a capital letter. Whenever a sentence is started, then it starts with a capital letter. Now you can see the example. He is playing cricket. You can see this. He is playing cricket. Here you can see that the H of he is capital. And in the next sentence, what is your name? And here the W is a capital here. So whenever a sentence starts, it starts with a capital letter. This is very important. This is to keep in your mind, that whenever you start a sentence, then the first letter is always capital, or it is in uppercase. Capital letters are also known as upper cases and small letters are known as lower cases. Okay. Now, second quality of a sentence, it is what? A sentence always ends with an end mark. A sentence always ends with an end mark, because now look at the example. They are playing football, and at the end there is a full stop. How are you? And at the end there is a question mark. So these are the end marks. How beautiful is the rain? And at the end there is a mark of exclamation. You can see here. And what a beautiful dress it is, and mark of exclamation. So these are the end marks. So as a sentence ends, whenever a sentence ends, one end mark you need to put, whether it's a full stop, question mark, depending upon the kind of sentences. And here is one more point that you need to know is this, that this is to keep in mind that a proper noun always starts with a capital letter anywhere in a sentence. Right now I told you that a sentence always begins with a capital letter. Like he is playing, then H of he is capital, and what is your name, and W of what is capital. But this is also to note down that if a proper noun comes in a sentence, then that will always remain in uppercase, that always remains in capital letter. For example, he is going to Mumbai, and M of Mumbai is capitalized here because Mumbai is a proper noun. In the same way, you can see the next sentence. This is Mohan's car. Mohan is a proper noun. Okay, in the nouns we have read. Okay, so this is Mohan. Mohan is a proper noun. So M of Mohan is also capital. So you need to keep in mind that when somebody's name, some city's name, okay, whenever there is a proper noun, okay, somebody's name, some city's name, some organization's name, whenever it comes, it's not a matter whether it is coming in the beginning or middle or the end. All these all the proper nouns, they are written in, they start with a capital letter. Is that clear to you all? I hope it is clear. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. Now we move to the next thing, that is our kinds of sentences. So till the time we have read about all these things, that what is a word, these are the alphabet, the group of letters that produce some sense, that is a word. Then the group of words that give you some sense, that is called a phrase. And when the group of words that give you complete sense, that is a sentence. And what are the qualities of a sentence? This we have read, that the sentence begins with a capital letter, and it ends with an end mark, whether full stop, question mark, mark of exclamation. And also that if any proper noun comes in a sentence, that is also capitalized. So after this we move to the kinds of sentences. So now these kinds of sentences, there are 4 kinds of sentences. You can see they are written here, you can watch, you can see your screen. This is the first one is a statement, second one is an interrogative, third one imperative, and the fourth one is exclamatory sentences. So these are the kind of sentences. First one is statement. So now first of all we look at the statements. So these are the first kind of sentences, statements. These are also known as declarative sentences. We also call them declarative sentences. Sometimes we also call them assertive sentences or statement, anything you can call them, okay, assertive sentences, declarative sentences, or statement, whatever you can call them. Okay, so now we will see that what these statements are. These statements actually they are used to make a normal statement. Whenever we make a normal statement, so these are called statements. Normal statement like I am going to school, Akbar was a great king, the earth moves around the sun, she is not doing her work, we will celebrate Children's Day. So when any kind of assertion, any kind of statement is made, simple, positive or negative, not a matter. So this is called a statement. Okay. So these kind of statements, they are used to make a normal statement or to tell a fact. Means you want to tell some fact that the earth moves around the sun. This fact you want to tell. If suppose that there are 30 students present in the class today, any normal statement that we make, that is a statement. Hope it is clear to you. And this is to keep in mind here that the statements also end with a full stop. Statement ends with a full stop. I hope it is clear to you. Now move to the next kind of sentences. They are interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are also known as question sentences. Interrogative sentences are also known as question sentences, and they basically ask questions to you, and they ends with a question mark. For example, you can see what is your name and question mark at the end. How are you? Question mark at the end. Have you finished your lunch? Question mark at the end. Are you sleeping? Question mark at the end. So here you can notice this, that these interrogative sentences, they ask a kind of question. So the sentence that ask you a kind of question, they are known as interrogative sentences, and they end with a question mark. And there are basically 2 kinds of interrogative sentences. One contains question word in the beginning, and another contains helping verb in the beginning. You can watch it, like what and how, they are the question words. And in the same way there are some more question words like what, how, when, where, who, etc. Okay. And there are they start with these question words, and sometimes they start with the helping verb, like have you finished. Have is a helping verb. Have you finished your lunch? Okay, like are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Are. So is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, will, would, shall, should, can, could. These are the helping verbs. So when either it will start with these helping verb, or it will start with the either question word. So this is was also the quality of an interrogative sentence. I hope it is clear to you now. Now you can easily identify this is an interrogative sentence, because it asks you a question and ends with a question mark. I hope it is clear to you. Now we will move to the next kind of sentence. Third one, it is an imperative sentence. These are also known as command sentences. Commands are what? Commands are like any order or any request or any advice. Any request, order or advice, it is called a command. And you see here are some examples, like open the window. It seems that somebody is ordering you to open the window. But in the same way, if somebody says it's like, for example, your teacher orders write neat and clean, it means the teacher is ordering you to write neat and clean. And sometimes somebody says please give me your pen. Some of your friend ask you please give me your pen, then it's a request. Okay, like sometimes your doctor asks you take your medicines on time, it means it's a kind of advice they are giving to you. So you can easily understand it's a command, whether it may be an order, it may be a request, or it may be an advice, and it also ends with a full stop. Okay, so these if in a sentence there is a command, there is an order, there is a request, there is an advice, then you can easily find out that this is an imperative sentence. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So now we have understood three kinds of sentences. First one is statements. Statements are the normal statements and they are telling you facts and ends with the full stop. Now the interrogative sentences, they ask you a question and end with a question mark. And the third one is the imperative sentences, that gives you a command like order, request or advice. And now comes the last one, and this is your last kind of sentence, that is exclamatory sentences. What these exclamatory sentences are? So these sentences are used to express your feelings and emotions. We use these exclamatory sentences to express our feelings and emotions. Like suppose that you are very happy and you are playing a match and you are very happy and you won the match. So somebody will say like, hooray, we won the match. Means this word hooray, it expresses your joy, your happiness. So, and this mark of exclamation, this hooray, we won the match, it means it is showing you happiness. Now next sentence you can see, alas, my notebook is lost. Means your notebook is lost, then you are very sad. So here you write alas. Then suppose that you are in pain, suppose that you say, ouch, I broke my knee. It means that you are in pain. So these kind of words that express your feelings, like wow, what a nice shot. So it's giving you a surprising feeling. What a nice shot, wow. So it's a kind of surprise it is coming. So when you the words that these words and when in these sentences your feelings are expressed, such sentences that express your feelings of joy, happiness, surprise, pain, all these expressions. Okay, and they are having a mark of exclamation at the end or in the middle even. So these kind of sentences are called as exclamatory sentences. So I hope it is clear to you. So these were the four kinds of sentences: exclamatory sentences that express your feelings, and imperative sentences that are used to make commands like order, request or advice, and interrogative sentences that are used to make a question, and the simple sentences, statements, they are called they are used to make a normal statement. They are called statements. I hope it is clear to you. So now you can easily identify which kind of sentence it is. Now you there is another trick method to find out if somebody says you to identify, means in the question paper it comes the identified which kind of sentences are the following. Now you want to identify, then there is a trick also. You can simply look at the end marks. You know pretty well this is a quality of a sentence, they end with some end mark. So now there are three kinds of end marks. First one, it is a full stop. First one is your full stop, you can see this dot, and now the next one is a question mark, everybody knows about it, and this is a mark of exclamation, straight line and a point below it, this is a mark of exclamation. So these are the three end marks. You can look at these end marks and you can easily find out. If there is a question mark, then certainly it will be an interrogative sentence, and because only interrogative sentences they ask questions and they end with a question mark. So you can simply identify that this is an interrogative sentence. And now next comes your mark of exclamation. If you find this mark of exclamation at the end or anywhere in the sentence, then it is sure that it is a exclamatory sentence. Now comes so these two you can easily identify. Now comes full stop. When there is a full stop, you see, when there is a full stop, there may be two things. Either the sentence may be a statement or it may be an imperative sentence. So how would you recognize that whether it is a statement or it is an imperative sentence? So this I told you that if there is a command, then it is an imperative sentence. If it is a normal statement, then it's a statement. Both will end in full stop. So you simply you can identify if it is a command like don't open the door, okay, and like write neat and clean, and please give me a pen. You can easily understand if it is an order, request, or command, or advise, take your medicine on time. So then it will become an imperative sentence. If there is a if there is an advice, okay, if there is an advice or request or whatever we can say, if there is a command, order, request, or advice, then it will become an imperative sentence. And if it is in a normal statement, then it's a statement. As simple. So you can easily identify, but one thing you need to keep in mind, and that is this, that if you identify, means whether it's a statement or it's an interrogative sentence or it's an imperative sentence or it's an exclamatory sentence, you can identify. I taught you will identify it, but still when you write, then you are liable to make mistake of the spellings. So for that purpose, you need to learn these spellings. These are the spelling kind of sentences. These spellings are must to learn, like the spelling of the statement statement, okay, interrogative interrogative, like imperative impertive, okay, like exclamatory exclamatorry, ठीक है. These spellings are must to learn. You must learn, okay, because most of the time students they identify but they write the wrong spelling, and for that purpose their marks are deducted. So you must learn these spellings, okay. You can easily learn this by making by breaking into pieces, like if you find exclamatory sentence spelling difficult, then you can write exclamatory, 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 exclamatory. Imperative impertive, imperative. Interrogative interrogative, interrogative. statement, S-T-A-T-E, state, S-T-A-T-E, state, M-E-N-T, meant. Okay, in this way you can learn. These are must to learn. This is the common mistake that the students do, and for that purpose their marks are deducted. So this is most important. You need to learn it. All right, I hope you all will learn it. Okay, these spellings are all also written in the book. Okay, and you can easily note them down and practice it so that you can easily learn. So now with this you can easily identify which kind of sentence it is, by using end marks also. This is a trick also. All right, so you can easily identify if there is an exercise to identify which kind of sentence it is. There are exercises in your book, they you will do, then you will easily identify. Now there are certain kinds of reordering of the sentences, certain kinds of they come question, and there are some exercises in your book which ask you reordering of the sentences. Now look at it. On the on book is table. It is not making any sense. You can reorder these words to make a meaningful sentence. So the book is on the table. So now it is producing a good sense. So you can put the words in order and easily you can find out. This is very easy. Like, was a great king Akbar. So it is not sounding good. You can write Akbar was a great king. When it's giving you good sense, then it becomes a sentence. Like, he eating a is. It's not looking good. So you can reorder it. He is eating a mango. So for reordering, this is an exercise. So for this purpose, what steps you can take? First of all, you take a subject. Like in this mango he eats. So first of all you take the subject he, and then you go for a second step. There is look for a helping verb. If in the sentence a helping verb is there, then you find if it is helping verb there, is it the helping verb there, he is. Then you go for the main verb. Main verb is there. This eating is a main verb. He is eating. And then go for the remaining things like objects. That eating a mango. He is eating a mango. And finally you make a meaningful sentence. So in this way you can easily do it. But need to keep in mind that when in a sentence helping verbs and main verb both are coming, then helping verb will come first and the main verb will come after that. All right, so in this way I hope you can easily do the exercises there. And another problem that comes, a kind of questions that are asked, they are like, they will provide you some phrase like on the table, and they will say to you that complete this sentence. On the table, they give you on the table. If they have given you on the table and they say to complete it, now you need to supply some more words so as to complete this. So like I say the book is on the table, so I supplied the book is and on the table. Now it completes the sentence. So you can also supply in this way. Like the cat is, and the remaining part is back end. So you can supply from your side. The cat is chasing the mouse. Chasing the mouse you add from your side and it will become a sentence. Like they give you the Taj Mahal is, and there is a blank space, and they say to you to complete it. So you may complete it at your own. Like the Taj Mahal is a famous monument. You can make your own. You can make your own sentence also. Like the Taj Mahal is a wonderful building. Okay. Like you may make your own sentence like the Taj Mahal is made up of white marble. Okay. Like you may write like the Taj Mahal is very beautiful. Okay. So you may make your own sentences. Like if I have written here. Now the next problem is Sachin Tendulkar and a space. You need to complete this sentence. So you can make a sentence like Sachin Tendulkar is a famous cricketer. You can you can make your own sentences. This I have made, like Sachin Tendulkar is a famous cricketer. Then you can make like Sachin Tendulkar is one of the best batsmen in the world. Okay. So you may make it at your own easily. Okay, like the another example, a good batsman, and in the beginning there is a space. So how you will write it? Virat Kohli, or you may write your own, and any other, there is a Sharma, what Sharma, whatever, any of the cricketer you may, if it is a batsman, then you can write the name Virat Kohli, or Yuvraj Singh, or whatever, whosoever, Viren Sehwag and all that. Okay, and Irfan Pathan, or whosoever is you like, you can make your own choice. It's up to you. So you can easily complete these sentences. I hope it is clear to you. Now in this way, this chapter, the sentence is over, and now you will solve all the exercises given in your book. And if you feel any problem, then you will ask me in the work group, that I will tell. All right. I hope, if still any doubt persists, then you can ask me in the live class, and there I will give you the solution for each and everything. I hope all of you enjoyed, and in this way our video is over, and now you can see this, and okay, let me finish it.